What if I told you that you can grow 288 plants in an 18 square foot raised bed? You'd probably laugh at me, but really, this is possible by following square foot gardening and breaking all the rules of spacing for vegetables and flowers. You can plant with square foot gardening, practicing that, you can plant 16 carrot seeds per square foot, and 16 times 18 is 288. But this can go for a lot of things. Generally, they say to give zucchini 4 square feet of space, but if you were to trim it to a vertical stalk and train it up a string line, you could grow 18 zucchini plants in this space. You could also grow 18 indeterminate tomato plants or 24 determinate tomato plants. That is granted, there are a few caveats you have to keep in mind. With this spacing, or these spacing rules, for bigger plants such as corn, zucchini, tomatoes, cucumbers, melons, and so on, you want to make sure that they are vining. Zucchinis are automatically vines, most cucumbers are, and melons are unless you get the bush type. But you need to make sure that, one, you prune heavily. Because of indeterminate tomatoes, you want to train them to a single stem if you are doing square foot gardening. You can leave maybe 1 or 2 suckers at the top to kind of branch out, but you want to have as much room underneath in your raised bed to have as much soil as you can, so that way you're able to plant a certain area. 2, you want to make sure that you fertilize regularly. So with a water soluble and an organic soil release, that will be important, especially with heavier feeders such as cucumbers, tomatoes, and in some cases peppers. They like to take up nutrients from the soil and of course create that into making fruit, foliage, etc. And having a densely packed raised bed or in-ground bed, whatever you're doing, that will quickly suck the life out of your soil, and you really don't want that to happen. You want to make sure that your soil remains nice and loamy, able to handle or able to retain onto enough moisture and nutrients and soil microbial life to be able to sustain your plants for years to come. And you can practice square foot gardening year after year. You just make sure you want to continue to add good soil or compost year after year at the end of each season. And if you do want to practice crop rotation, that is perfectly fine too, because sometimes in a densely populated vegetable bed, diseases can, or pests can sometimes gravitate towards that. But of course there are ways that you can get around that, like insect netting. Generally shade cloth will not be as needed if you are planting super dense, but if you are also doing single stem tomatoes, you're trimming off a lot of things, you want to make sure you do use shade cloth, because those stems and the fruit will be exposed to especially harsh UV rays and the super hot temperatures in the summertime. I would recommend shade cloth for anybody in any climate that its summer temperatures consistently are above 85 to 90. I tried it out for the first time last year and it worked wonders on my garden. I got the best harvest ever, so I just want to recommend that to you. So gardening does not have to be limited, even if you are gardening perhaps in just one raised bed like I am. Even if you're on a balcony, you can apply this to containers. Like say a 16-inch pot, you could probably plant 16 or 20 carrot seeds, 12 to 16 lettuce seeds, and so on. Go ahead, experiment with it yourself, break all the rules. These are not hard set, in fact, rules that you have to do in order to make your garden more successful. In fact, breaking these rules will probably make your garden even more successful. So I hope you really liked this video and got something out of it. It was just a quick video that I wanted to share with you so you can get even bigger and more abundant harvests in your garden for years to come. And I'm also working on experiments such as bone meal versus mycorrhizae, so subscribe if you want to see that. But in the meantime, check out this video.